good record inside of OCE as well. Recent history for WEIBO on it, so I can only expect that we're going to see another good game.
I can only expect that this is going to be a good series, an entertaining series. Enterprise on one side, who are pretty much living in the all chat for the first half of every map that they play, and WEIBO Gaming, who I think for a lot of us are still living in our hearts. We remember when Reaps really first launched onto the scene in 2022 and 2023. We remember when Turd was also an all chat warrior all the way back in Atlanta. Both of these teams have entertained us. Both these players across rosters have entertained us so many times over the past 3 years. And one is guaranteed to make it, and as always, the cost is that one must go home. Fortress being our first map. The ban phase will begin and end just like that. Snake and Monty is our attacking bans, some of the most banned attackers at the tournament. Not all that surprising. But on the flip side, Clash not as banned as often as you think, but Goyo has the follow-up after that.
Yeah, Goyo coming out there as just a bit of an area denial. We've seen already how valuable those Vulcan packs can be, and not how difficult they can be to deal with, but it's just another process that teams are choosing to not want to go through. Very similar to people choosing to get rid of electrification. It's just a process that they do not want to go through. Electrification available here, it's still not being played, so go figure. But we do have a little bit of denial or a little bit of slow utility in the form of Reaps and those Zoto canisters, so I'm sure we'll see those used as well throughout. A little bit of shield plate to kick things off here. Cairo going to be rocking onto that blitz. Players to watch. If you're new to Enterprise, keep a very firm eye on players like Brendo. A big performer, a consistent performer on this roster at the moment. Someone else to keep an eye on is Jigsaw. But however, the consistency, it's a little bit more hit or miss when it comes to them. And in games where we see Enterprise do very well, Jigsaw usually has a good time of things. If he struggles, it tends to be a signal that the rest of the team is also struggling a little bit, and we see those games go a little bit less well for them. Is it going to be a hot or not day? Only time will tell. Enterprise starting off here on the attack. They're going to be going through the motions, taking a little bit of control on that top floor, and a good old bit of focus toward Old Tower.
And a bit of focus on the flip side for some of the players as well that you should watch for WEIBO Gaming. Hubbin had an unbelievable day yesterday. It was an 8-7, 8-6, and then 7-1 map on Fortress for WEIBO. But Hubbin throughout the entire series, not only dropping 17 kills on the first map, not only dropping 16 on the second map, ended the entire series with 43 kills in total, becoming the highest rated player not only on WEIBO, but in this entire lobby. An important player to watch, an impactful player at that. At least at the moment. He'll be playing Melusi, so really not the most exciting operator to talk about. But we might see some impact for him in the late round as Enterprise are taking things slow, not only with the Blitz shield, by the way, but the Fuse shield as well? No, AK-12, actually. Just bringing that for the cluster charges. Fuse play for the love of the game, that one.
Yeah, that would have been a Giga Troll, I think, if we'd seen the Fuse shield. We're not that down bad just yet. There's still a Blackbeard available, for goodness sake. Tuham, going to be using that secondary utility as well. Of course, Fuse, brilliant at opening things up and brilliant at destroying as well. You can already see some of those cluster charges going off and just getting rid of a myriad of utility, whether that's going to be Ella Banshees, whether it's going to be, Ella Banshees, Melusi Banshees, or Ella Grismots, either or. Bulletproof cameras as well, always a good target for that utility, and it does a good job of clearing people out of position. Barbed wire, that's a bit of a nightmare now. Fuse is a pretty good pick. I think if they weren't as slow, it'd be played far more often. However, Tuhan, willing to deal with the slightly sluggish speed in order to gain some good advantage. Maybe even going to try and get rid of this Zoto canister. Ooh, it looked like the cluster charge got frozen even though it wasn't going to get frozen. And now it's just in like a weird sort of passive state. But his breach went off, which is the big news. It did take a little bit of damage for it, but that's going to be a big part of this push. And now you start to wonder, where do we have to go at the moment? Because there's no real where to hide. Everyone inside of either bathroom or museum at the minute. C4's ripped and ready, and the first kill's coming in.
That first kill, both team get somebody. Brendo and Speakeasy trading death. C4 out will force Cairo out of position. They'll try again. Another C4. It is basically just Trade City in terms of utility, in terms of kills. Neither team able to get a quick advantage, but Tuhan, another big player for Enterprise against SR yesterday, gets 2 kills to seal the deal on this diffuser. Hubbin, who I highlighted earlier, might find a cheeky little one-tap right here, but even if he does, so much has to go WEIBO's way for them to close out this round. Spotting a little bit of Tuhan, spotting a little bit of the Blitz as well, but Jigsaw coming in, some saving graces. making sure Ape can stay alive towards the end of the round, or actually, no, sheltering him into an early death. Doesn't want to save the other team. Instead, they dash WEIBO's hopes and take the first round.
I really liked the way that they paced out the utility there. Enterprise, such a good job of baiting out those C4s. The C4 bait being the bigger portion of that. But what was really nice was that once the C4s were baited out, that's when we saw the Capital utility used. That's when we saw, right, they've no C4s left. They can't just throw it from sat behind a half wall. Now they're going to have to swing us. So what are we going to do? We're going to use our Capital utility. And it was just really well sequenced. You don't always see that. It can be a very subtle thing, but the sequencing of utility working very well for Enterprise. And a good pace overall, round top through bottom. They brought the fuse, and I think that was a brilliant way of trying to deal with not only the Zoto canisters, helping them get the wall open, but it just has that secondary effect, that bonus of getting rid of a lot of utility as well, because there is no telling where those cluster pucks are going to go.
No, you always got to be careful. You kind of give it a wide berth before you end up moving into the room. Make sure they clear out all that utility, make sure you aren't anywhere near where it's going off. Juan picks it for a second, then switches back to the Deimos, a much more traditional pick. And it seems like we are just going to roll the dice and pick some of the most annoying and most picked operators at the whole tournament. Ying Glass combo, we've got it. Shield, how about a Blitz? And then Deimos, rounding out the operator lineup. There's also a Zofia. She is present. But for the rest across the board, it is a lot of cheesy utility that Enterprise have to make use of to target some of these important players that might be holding some important power positions, which was basically all of WEIBO's defense in the last round, was just holding their positions, playing close together. And there is so much utility for Enterprise that is built to dismantle that exact kind of strategy.
They've got the right utility for that, haven't they? Lifelines, Yin Candelas, even the Blitz to a degree. There's players buddied up. This is a good set of tools to find them and root them out. Cairo, I'm just going to be throwing in a smoke. It's going to be something that Bappin can start to try and peek on through. And as that's happening, well, elsewhere, we've got drops and we've got flooding into sight. Cairo wasting no time here, taking loads of ground quickly, but finding a couple of problems.
A couple of problems, namely one player in front and one player behind. He's the first one to go down. Enterprise has been good for the trade so far. Though when they came out last time, they were able to quickly move it into a diffuse plant. We only had a minute 49 seconds, and, well, we're ways away from the side. Tuhan, the next to fall. Bappin also. As it seems, WEIBO got the message and playing a little bit further up than they were before. Not too far, just a couple rooms away. That's enough to make a difference. As Enterprise think they can take things quick and run straight into a three-way crossfire, basically, for WEIBO.
One of the entertaining things about Enterprise as well is that when you get little quiet portions in the round like this, where Jigsaw's just holding an angle, Brendo, they're kind of baiting, seeing what's happened. Tuhan just fires up the all chat. Baits someone into peeking.
Surely an all chat for that one.
Maybe an all chat after the fact.
Hello there.
Minute remaining. Good spot another right here, actually. Brendo. Oh! I actually didn't think he'd get that. I was kind of humoring it, but a snappy shot on the Hoven. And now we find ourselves in a 2v2. You can see why Enterprise have gone silent.
It's that bait time, isn't it? The diffuser's cold. That's going to be their biggest problem right now. They've got a bit of info on the drone, and now they know where Turd is. All they need to find out is where Ape is playing. 7 Shimikas. Not a lot, really. Especially if you're going to fluff one onto your own feet.
Basically shut yourself off from peeking that angle, but if you have the mission stay alive, maybe a blessing in disguise forces you to play reserved. But Brendo's taken control off the back of it. They still lack that diffuser. Ape and Turd have a crossfire in that position. Both sides waiting to see who blinks. Brendo, a crazy pre-fire. Now moved into a 1v1. Underrated player, but now handicapped by the Razor Bloom. 7 seconds remaining. As Ape lights up his retreat, Brendo, there is just no way in heaven or on earth he can catch up to the Tachanka. An MVP Razor Bloom 3 minutes after it got placed. WEIBO get there first.
For it to all come down to a Razor Bloom of all things. And hey, guess what? He only needed one Shumika launcher left to win the round because he just has to block off the corridor. Nothing you can do about that. Maybe a rotate back in sight, maybe pick up the diffuser, maybe bait them in, but that is a bit of a tall ask. Brendo, some really nice shots here. The second one onto Turd. I mean, I'm surprised that's passed without comment.
He was kind of busy. There was a guy right around the corner.
But there's been time. We've had a whole
true.
prep phase.
Yeah, I've had a whole prep phase, and we can confirm, aside from one errant comment by Jigsaw, really not a whole lot of talk in the all chat. 1-1. Just a little bit of an exchange at the beginning of Fortress. As it feels like we've been in this part of the map for every single round. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Pretty weighty change from Enterprise, though. Going for the full lineup 6-pick. Going into a Maverick, of all things. Typically, if you see a Maverick, you would expect to see a Glass, because some of those murder holes that the Maverick can make can be pretty handy if you can place smoke behind them and have a Glass just peeking on through. We don't have that. We do have secondary hard breach in Bappin as well. This is going to be something very specific that they're trying to go for. Now, we've seen Enterprise move quickly, and we've seen them move slowly. WEIBO have adapted very well to the quicker of those two play styles so far. So Enterprise likely going to just take the foot off the gas ever so slightly here. They don't need to be really rushing in and making something happen. They've already proved that they can systematically take apart some of these defensive setups. And here, at least for round number 3, it looks like we are going to be going with one of those slightly slower playstyles. Nice line just made. It's going to give a bit of a cut through no man's land.
Just a little bit of a line for Tuhan. Ape reinforcing the wall, backing up. It's another exchange between Cairo and Reaps. But no trade necessary this go around, as the Blitz just wins it outright. And Enterprise, first time with a 5v4. Take their time with it. It's command defense. We've made our way through pool, made our way through dorms. But this is where we always see the defense and the attack run headlong into each other, Ollie. This is where the bulk of the fights inevitably occur. Another line made. 2 players sticking their face in this hole, and Hubbard still walks in front of it. Can't quite confirm the kill with the guns. The nade will get the job done. And it's a 5v3 for Enterprise.
It's the oldest trick in the book, isn't it? Maverick hole, don't go near it. If you see it, just run. You are probably being watched as you speak, as you sit there. Hubbard not realizing, not getting the memo. 2 picks as the openers here for Enterprise. They're surely not just going to win the whole round through Maverick lines in walls. Ape, maybe giving that opportunity away a little bit here, as he is going to be challenging onto that. Smoke starts coming now as well. You can't afford to just hold that one angle for the whole time. Cairo pushing in, but it's Bappin that's got the diffuser.
Now Bappin with the diffuser, but Cairo also on low HP. Got to be careful with this TCSG and this crossfire, as a matter of fact. Here's the reload around the corner. Enterprise running away with this second attack onto command. The first one required a plan. It was basically a slow and very close round by the end. This one, how about a flawless, as Cairo begins and ends things on his own terms.
Massive impact being had there. Now the old chat starting to kick off. Jigsaw. Hitting turd where it hurts.
Oh, that one's rough. That one's mean. We don't have to say that. We don't have to say that. Enterprise up 2-1, though.
I think there's a very good chance that we just have the chat off.
It's like, I think, back when Ashen was like really, truly an all-chat warrior, I think everyone just had chat muted against him, so Ashen was just literally typing to no one.
Yeah.
Literally just for the audience, just for the show.
For us. It's just for our entertainment.
Which I appreciate.
I'll take it.
I'm totally fine with that.
Yep.
I don't need to know that the players saw it. I just need to see it.
You just need to see it written.
I just want to know it occurred, which I appreciate. 2-1 for Enterprise. Banning out the Tachanka next. Very popular ban today, the Tachanka.
It is.
Which, you know, at first you were like, what the hell? And now we're like, oh, of course, the Tachanka ban. Classic. You must ban this against the shields. Otherwise, you will have the shield knocked out from in front of you, and you'll be easier to kill by Turd or Hoven or anybody who's in the site.
It is the winning formula as well, if you look at it on paper. They've played Tachanka once on Dorms and Games, and it's the only round that they've won so far. So,
we solved it.
Cracked. Absolutely cracked it. 2-1, still very early days, despite how the all chat may be looking here. Jigsaw going to be bringing out an oldie but a goldie. Finker LMG. Locked and loaded. 100 rounds in the mag. 98 now because he spent a couple, but we've got loads to play with here. And this in conjunction with, I mean, Finker anyway, in conjunction with shields, is a bit of a nightmare because you just get that increased ADS time. So it's great with the Blitz. Sometimes it's even better with the Blackbeard because you're not going to a pistol, you're going to the Scar.
I'm taking out the Scar from over your shoulder. Quicker ADS time, very nice for that. Brendo's down. I'm not entirely sure how. I think maybe pushing the laundry position. Maybe Turd just swung, got aggressive with the shotgun. Not entirely sure, but one impact we would see is if Enterprise wanted to go for a plant, would have been able to disable the C4s that likely would have been tossed in by Turd and Speakeasy respectively. So lacking that could be a bit of an issue. Yep. Hopping in through the single window, taken down by one pump of the shotgun. A tale as old as time. Nade over top. As Enterprise look to even things up. Reaps been a bit of a victim in these opening duels. 3 rounds in a row, either the second or the first dead every single time, save for round 1. And the Solus as well, and can't play retake up through the top anymore. Can't relay that information to the rest of the team.
Little impact from Reaps, and this is the series that he needs to shine brightest in. We know them to be a very capable player. Oh, Speakeasy. How does he get away with that? What? But you just moved to nowhere. He's like an ostrich.
He moved next door. He didn't even switch postal codes. He's in the exact same spot.
He's like, oh, if I'm not looking at him, surely he can't see me.
It's like
I'm just going to sit there and close my eyes. Surely nobody can see me.
It's like a T-Rex. He only sees movement. As long as you stand still, he will not get... I was wrong. He can, in fact, see movement. Jigsaw with the Finka LMG gets a kill. Hoven, highest rated player in this lobby going into the matchup, will go down next. So it falls to Ape and Turd. Cover the 2v3. Ape with a quick swing. But he quickly takes... Whoa! What was that? Hell of a flick on a Tuhan. I have no idea how he's pulled that off. And how he even is still alive? That's a question for smarter minds than me to figure out. Through the wall. With a pistol in hand as well. If he gets this one, I don't know what I'll do. Sees another in front of him! And Jigsaw domed by the Ella. Boppin has got 3 kills, but Ape, he's got me to believe. Turd now, all he needs to do is land a C4. Land a hit with a shotgun with 15 seconds remaining. Surely he's got it. Shot by Boppin. But only likely one attempt at this diffuser. He's got to make a decision. Does he play it on time? Does he go for the kills? Turd's making the right move, but look at how far away he is. Got to run over. Oh, but he falls off. There's a chance he might have stuck it, but not when he falls off like that. Turd might survive, but it's Ape with the credit.
Turd got the opening kill, and he was surviving in the end. Stayed alive. All he had to do was play that old bait and switch. Make sure that the time did the job for him. Ape, MVP. Enterprise knew where he was. They had 3 players converging on that one position. Tactical timeout right now from WEIBO. I mean, they've just won the round, but that isn't always a good indicator. We see teams quite often win the round and still the call for the tactical timeout was either made at the start or there's something a little bit deeper going on. Gohan, maybe just reminding everyone to turn off the old chat.
I have to believe it's off. We've seen nobody from WEIBO participate.
Yeah.
That was insane. Honestly, this is one of those moments where I don't even want to talk. I'm just like eagerly waiting to see some of those kills again because that flick with the Scorpion was nasty. This was crazy.
This was just comical.
Oh my god.
But I just don't know why there was so much desync. It's like Bappin and Jigsaw to that point were just so scared to push in. Like if you've got Brendo or Tuhan on the hatch, you know that they're down. Like they've sprayed a whole mag of Scorpion. They're down to that pistol. The pistol's great. Don't get me wrong.
Excellent pistol.
Overwhelm. Don't challenge on a long angle. That pistol's arguably better at a long range angle because if you can dome ahead, great. But if you get barrel stuffed, 2-2. Tied game right now going into round 5. Nobody streaking a lead so far and no team chaining more than a couple of rounds together. Ooh. I kind of enjoy that. It's like a little fireside chat.
We'll see WEIBO have taken a seat rested. They've gained all their HP and stamina back. They regenerated their flask.
Jigsaw going to be rocking the Dokkaebi. here for round number 5. 2-man again on this Maverick. Surely the Maverick lines are old news by now and not a trick that WEIBO are going to fall for again. We'll be going with a similar line here, although it hasn't been fully reinforced. Quite like that, because it makes it so difficult now to actually go and put a line in it and to remove that angle away from the defenders. And Hoven's likely going to be able to play in there for a little bit longer. Has to be pushed away for that to fully happen and take course, but you never really know where someone's going to peek from now.
And it's been a tricky position. I really just think to myself, like, what do you do there? Like, what is the immediate counter to that? It just seems Cairo will just move past it, so not the biggest worry. Dokkaebi call's gone out. Push a little bit after it's ended. Again, somebody's just caught not looking the right way. Cairo, despite the fact he's stomping around pool, Hoven is very intent on his objective. And WEIBO very intent on, it seems, giving Enterprise this round. Reaps, who has been really having a rough game so far. Again, the second dead in one of these rounds. Ape's up. That's something. Doesn't have the yellow pistol, but at least maybe you have a better chance, because aside from that, WEIBO have really struggled so far this half.
They're just not showing many signs of life. It's like the players aren't locked in. They're not switched on. People just getting shot in the back. Like, it's not even like it's a slow or quiet person. It's not like you've been snuck up on by a nook.
Blackbeard was sprinting not 3 seconds prior.
Like, have we got volume? Have we got headphones on? I don't know. Strange as well, because in some rounds they've kept pace, and it's looked all right. Bit of a stall out here from Enterprise, but Ape will be the next player to fall. Bappin sees to it. They are handily dealt with. In 50 seconds now, 5 players alive for Enterprise. This is just about going through the motions.
You really don't have to do much at this point. 45 seconds remaining. Just don't, well, I was going to say, be careful sticking your head in Maverick holes. Maybe like Cairo. Take the charge. Bappin's down somewhere, not entirely sure, but there's Jigsaw, there's Tuhan, there's a flawless round for Enterprise. All things considered, very real likelihood this should be at least a 4-1 right now. 3-2 given the way Enterprise are playing, but also given the way WEIBO are showing up. This really has not been that close.
Second flawless round for Enterprise. The only rounds that WEIBO have won have come off the back of clutches. Ape inside of round 2. Turd, round 4. Turd didn't even get the kill in round 4, he just stayed alive. Not that that's a problem, but there's a bit of a theme generating here, isn't there? Hoven, Speakeasy, and Reaps. 3 kills between them. Reaps, by the way. 1600 DPI god. And not having the desired impact. Crumbling at the moment against Enterprise. If you remove those 2 clutches, this is a 5-0 half.
And not a particularly close 5-0 half at that. Not even really close. 3 of Ape's kills came 2 rounds ago. And if you exclude those, which obviously you can't actually do that, but the numbers just get even worse. And the numbers are already quite bad, as Ali pointed out.
10 seconds to go.
It's Enterprise's pick. Nighthaven, obviously. WEIBO have a great streak, 7-1. But if they're showing up like this early on in the game,
yeah,
this is a hard kind of loss to bounce back from.
I get that it's Enterprise's pick, and WEIBO did play it yesterday, but they played it really well.
They did.
They beat Los.
7-1, by the way. Los, not a bad team. Just to be clear, here over Team Liquid Alienware, for what that's worth.
I don't know. SAL, a bit of a washed region these days.
It's you know.
Worth nothing, apparently.
It's a bad time. It's a bad time.
They're a 1-region team now, or a 1-team region.
And you know, that the one team is the 2-time world champion, one of the greatest rosters ever assembled. So, and the region has 2 of the greatest rosters ever assembled. So that's a really nice feature.
Round 6 then. I think with the way that these rounds go on and as this series develops in general, we're likely to see Enterprise swell with confidence as time goes by, especially if they keep finding nice catches early on into the round. A reinforced action there at the top of this old tower. It's Cairo. He's just walking through with 0 consequences, removing utility for fun right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was curious by that reinforcement. Normally we see that opened up and it allows defenders to not only challenge onto the old tower, but I think also just makes it difficult to really rotate onto the staircase. But this time it has allowed Enterprise full entry for free by the same token. It's also given WEIBO a bit more protection. We'll have to take that angle. And actually, all things considered, I don't know if gunfights are really what WEIBO should be doing. Ape, the smoke, taken down. That's a big win by Hoven. Speakeasy also getting active. Might be traded out soon after, but this is the closest round it's felt like we've had for WEIBO so far, ever since round 1, and that was still one they ended up losing. These rounds, other than that, their wins have both been 1v1s. It could be trending that exact same way. Hoven with low HP. Brendo, he's got 3 Grims. We've got 2 nades. We've got a smoke and the glass still on board, Ollie. There's so much for Enterprise with a minute to go.
Enterprise have got a lot of tools to play with, haven't they? They can recover this diffuser fairly easily as well. The Razor Bloom, not particularly well placed. Hoven, super low HP. They're just a little bit split right now. Jigsaw, Bappen, playing somewhat together. Brendo, a little bit on the periphery. But he's going to be working his angle through that breach and seeing if he can catch anybody rotating off. Reaps is tucked in just to the left, so it's going to be quite difficult right now. WEIBO, their strength is in not moving at the moment.
It's about the only strength they have so far. Utility isn't really a factor, not all that much for this team. But staying still, playing this crossfire, that could be quite good. Ooh, neither player getting the kill there. Boppin and Reaps just passing each other. I have no idea how neither player took a bit of damage in that engagement. But again, with no utility, no time to deny the plant, it's got to be gunfights. They need to win this. Jigsaw and Brendo, they haven't really been losing many gunfights this tournament, have they, Ollie? Brendo with both the final kills, and Enterprise, a dominant lead at 4-2, and it could have been a whole heck of a lot higher than that.
Deep breathing. Okay. It is 0-0. Okay. What is the focus of defense going to be? It's going to be communication and angle delegation. Okay. And win condition. Okay, those 3.
The big 3.
We just need to care, guys, please. At the start of the round, we need to care some absolute blitz bombardery or some silly rush plans, okay?
Yeah.
So let's make sure we work together, okay? If they don't ban the Clash, we can spam the Clash because we're banning the Monty, okay? And they're going to be fucked with our shields. Let's make sure we're counting numbers, okay? These guys, they like to sweep. Andreas will know more than me because he did Fortress, okay? But from what I saw, they like to sweep with a Flores hit in the back, getting you two, okay?
Rapes?
Nothing we haven't seen before, so make sure the side player is always ready for those lurks.
Rapes?
Yeah.
Rapes on Flores, just lurking.
Yes.
Okay.
And Hoven likes to lurk as well.
Michael. For basement kitchen, if we
the another one's more passive. So the thing is, you need to read. When you have the advantage, relax, deep breath, control the round. They will try to move, they will try to refrag, so punish them, and yeah,
we're gonna ban the kid.
We're gonna do it.
As default.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, guys.
No,
And then
no,
Hover can
we're
do
gonna
the
we're gonna burn the clash, bro.
Oh yeah, kid clash. Sorry.
Kid clash.
And then if anyone top rate, can just call Hover. He will net for us. Line up.
This guy, yeah, bro, let's go.
So guys, deep breath, relax, no problem.
Exactly, bro. Let's go for it, guys. We can do it right now.
Go,
So
come.
guys, we're gonna see the bans. If the ban is snake, we need to see, how we're gonna keep making progress. If we don't have good runs for this, we're gonna have what? We're gonna have the Monty or another shield.
Again, another kind of differing philosophy. We got one that's a bit more decentralized and one that's a bit more top-down.
Mag has got his work cut out from those boys.
He's trying to say it. You just hear, Reaps?
All I was thinking throughout that whole first minute of listening to Mag was just, he has got his work cut out with those boys. Because they're so focused, and it's fine, by the way, they're winning. Like, this is no diss whatsoever. But they are so focused on the individual players that they're against, and not just, they're not nameless faces to them. They're playing against Speakeasy, Hoven, Turd, Reaps, and Ape.
They played so many times against
They're
them.
not playing against a Blackbeard, a Blitz, blah, 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 blah. They are playing against the individual. And and that's why they're so good, right? Because they can get a little bit on that personal level. They can dig in a little bit deeper. But it just made me chuckle because Mag's like, look, it's 0-0. Breathe. Like, win conditions. Angle delegation.
Angle delegation was crazy.
I nearly, but he's taking it so seriously, and he should do.
What was it? Coordination and angle delegation.
He's taking it so seriously, and he's right to. But I just bet I bet these Enterprise boys, they are just out of control without him.
And you know the best part is that whole time you see Mag explaining, and you see Jigsaw's eyes start darting to the keyboard like the Green Goblin mask is talking to him. And 30 seconds in, he starts typing in all chat mid-timeout. This team is so funny. They're so funny.
Well, the Clash got banned, and that was something that Enterprise were going to, in their words, spam. So they can't do that anymore. The Monty... I mean, it's just a bit annoying, isn't it? The Monty and the Snake both getting removed as well. There's a bit of talk and chatter about that from the WEIBO side of things. Now, we were expecting some... Well, or at least Mag was expecting some quick plays, you know, be aware of a blitz bombardery, I think was the comment that was used, which I just particularly love.
That minute was not real.
There's no blitz. There is, in fact, a Blackbeard, but it doesn't look like anything's going to be happening too quickly. It seems fairly par for the course right now. Just general setup, get onto the roof, start getting some drones down, and figure out what the lay of the land is.
Blackbeard bombardery is a bit of a mouthful, but it still kind of works. And also, at least in terms of the strategy, could basically be the same thing. You won't get blinded by the shield, but generally speaking, if you see a Blackbeard, none of these players are going to be like, oh, Mag was wrong with the blitz bombardery call. You're going to be like, okay, this is the kind of thing. And in fact, might have just seen the Blackbeard. Make eye contact as the Vulcan packs pop. You hear him break through the wall. Speakeasy creeping forward. Also heard some calls that might be a Hoven lurk on the backside. Clearly worried about, you know, a very sizable front push, but then one or two players lurking either around the extremities or on the backside, something they're worried about. Hoven on the CE1D been quite effective so far. Spotted, I think, 3 different players, but no Deimos on the board for the attacking team, so can't make as much use of that utility as you'd like.
I was going to say, I think the Lion on its own now, we're starting to see the value of Lion, and it needs to be brought as part of 2 or 3 operators that are the wider vision. Because at the minute, Lion on their own, these boys are just going to laugh at that. Ape finds the first kill over onto Two-Hand. Takes him out. A little bit of a headshot there as we can start to see a little bit of progress work its way through, but Speakeasy, next player to fall, that Blackbeard just turning his head.
Yeah, gets bombarded by the Vector, just swinging around the corner, bopping 6-1 right now. Crazy stat line over on Enterprise, 6-1, 7-1, 6-2 between Bop and Jigsaw and Brendo. Some crazy individual performances in WEIBO despite starting out with the first. That backside lurk, it's found out by Enterprise. Might not be Hoven, it's Ape instead. Still looking to try and channel some of that energy, that big 3K got on the Ella. We're still waiting. Reaps redeems himself a little bit. He's been struggling this game as well. It's just him and Hoven. Have to try to narrow this 2-round lead that Enterprise have over them. Diffuser currently out of the attack's possession, but they're still in this round. They're still fighting back as much as they can. But despite WEIBO starting off with a 5v4, Reap's now on 1 HP. Gotta recover the diffuser. Get these kills, all with only 10 seconds remaining. Information on 1, but only 1. They'll try to bait out the swing in Enterprise. They seem to understand the assignment. If Mag got anything through to them, it's do not troll. 5-2, Enterprise take their first round on defense.
I like how they've started to make the room their own as well. They've got a jersey up on the wall. That's the first team that we've seen do that. I rate it. First round on the defense going very well there for Enterprise. And WEIBO Gaming, again, the same as they looked on defense, just look a little bit off the pace. They were able to get a couple of kills this time, but again, there's that sort of inability to recognize what really is going on. It's lack of awareness.
It's one of those... There are these weird games that we cast sometimes, and not we as in like you and me, but like I think that a lot of times just kind of happen in that, you know, when you're a desk analyst, when you're a caster, you have to read the game, you have to interpret the game, you've got to relay it to the viewer. But it's always difficult things where WEIBO just don't really feel like a factor. And they were in that round, which is the weird thing. They got the opening pick. Yeah. It was only a 2v1. That is a close round, all things considered. And yet there's just this feeling you get over the course of the series that they are not the complete architects of their own fate. That they're just not. And that round, it felt kind of similar. Even though they were getting kills, and even though they were keeping the round close, it never really felt like there was something going their way. It was more like things were happening rather than WEIBO were making things happen. And I get that's not a particularly helpful statement, but it's just one of these weird feelings you get where there is nothing I can quite put my finger on in particular, and it's just nothing seems to be going that well.
For me, it's lack of awareness, and that's kind of what it comes down to. because we're consistently seeing players caught flat-footed, off guard, looking the wrong way, or
defense especially.
Yeah, I mean it's happened a little bit on the attack. We've got the Blackbeard losing the life because they're turning the wrong way as the transitioning over past the doorway. Are you just thinking we weren't seeing a lot of that? Falcons VP. Got to call it when it is seen. Speaking of calling things that are a little bit new or different, we have the Tachanka this time. So these corridors are going to be a bit of a tough space for Speakeasy to work through on that blitz. He will have a bit of a harder time making that happen. Lion Scan comes out, but no one really feeling the pressure in this early portion of the round just yet. We do have Jigsaw just sort of hanging around and threatening an engagement with Hoven, but he's basically just going to be there to greet him if required.
Just waiting for it. How many times have we really seen that museum exterior engagement be a quagmire for the attack? It always feels like we see an attacker, whether it's Diaz on Furia, really any player on that door, they just get sucked into this game of this waiting game between the defenders, and they always inevitably either lose their life or don't have impact. And it's not just a WEIBO thing. It feels like we see it so consistently on this map. You wait, you think you can get it, then you end up failing. You inevitably get Jigsaw, but you've lost the Blitz, and you've lost the Lion, who maybe gave some good information to the Deimos, but who is now dead. Bappin 9-1 currently, potentially 10-1 if he can get that line onto Ape. That's a lengthy pre-fire around the Kiba, a good pre-fire at that. And WEIBO continue to struggle. Enterprise continue to set the pace by which WEIBO needs to play at. A minute to go, they'll try to fight back.
Jigsaw, astute as ever. Reaps is alive. Reaps and Ape.
That's empirically true.
To try and make this happen. We've got a bit of kit. We're going to see some Rotero drones used. Even if they don't destroy anything, it's going to give a little bit of information away. Reaps, choosing to drop off and maybe find a little bit of an alternate line here. It is going to leave Ape a little bit vulnerable for the time being, and they hold the diffuser. So if this does come down to the wire, that is going to be required. Default camera open above Reaps' shoulder, I think, and you can already see with the way that the outlines are moving, that information is getting fed straight away. Jigsaw locked into that old tower camera, and it's no surprise now to see Reaps on 1 HP. Can't land the shots.
Oh, it's windy.
It's Cairo. Able to get the job done. Enterprise. They've nearly got map 1 done here.
If Ape doesn't clutch that 1v1, that is the end of map 1 right there. WEIBO just have not been a factor on Fortress so far, not at all whatsoever. And I think a good moment of that round is at the very end. You see Reaps go for that backstab, and in theory, that's a big gamble that could pay off, right? You go up the back, nobody's looking, they're so focused on the front. But the difficulty with going with a backstab in that situation is there's 2 players left alive, and Ape is ace. What's he gonna do to distract them?
Yeah.
He's got no secondary utility, no primary utility. He's got the diffuser, so he can't really go for a plant since you're going for a backstab. Who's covering him? Reaps is just betting it all on himself, and maybe it works out, but it didn't. If you get spotted, he's maybe not the first that went down, but there was nothing to distract to make that backstab more likely. Reaps was literally just betting that Enterprise would do something they have not really done in this game so far, and that's not been aware of their surroundings. Enterprise have had good awareness. They've had good coordination. You can't get multiple people all at 6 to 9 kills and not have a decent idea of what's going on and where there might be a gap in your setup.
We're doing it the Rainbow way. Whatever you say, Red Hammer.
6-2. Enterprise poised and ready to take their map pick of Fortress. It is worth remembering at this point in the proceedings that, yes, this is indeed Enterprise's map choice. And we will be moving on to Labs as WEIBO's map choice next. That much is guaranteed. But often the way that map 1 is won can certainly shape for some teams how the rest of the games will go, or the rest of the series. Jigsaw. And caught out on the drone there. Route to the spot by Lion, but again, there's no bite off the back of this Lion scan. It's not the same way we were seeing Falcons use it, where they were Lion scan, Snake, Deimos, everything. What a shot from Jigsaw!
Let's just move on. Let's just move on.
Deimos, track or not, happy to one-tap through the window. That could be the first of 5 nails going into the coffin right now for WEIBO on Fortress.
You can hear Mag hammering right now. Just getting the lid ready, attaching it. Feels like WEIBO have been gone for a long time on this map. Last round they won was in round 4. That was a 1v1. One before that, round 2. That was also a 1v1. Basically 50-50s. A coin flip or would have given WEIBO only 2 victories on border, on Fortress. And it might not be their pick, but Enterprise are going to have a massive momentum boost going into Nighthaven if WEIBO cannot get it together soon. The Deimos and Lion, objectively a great combo. I'm glad they moved to that after the solo Lion in round 1. But with the Deimos dead, you don't have a lot to fall back on. The E1D, not great when you don't have a lot of utility to back it up with. The Roteros have all been used. And Ash and Ace, as we said before, aren't really going to get the job done. Turd is just walking through. They've got no idea Jigsaw's position. And based on what's happened, I kind of favor him to just wide swing this breach and get this kill. Maybe he won't. It is Ape who's had a good time. It's Ape who will now be on cameras. As Jigsaw is at 3, how about another 1v1? Maybe this will be the difference. Just one more 1v1. That'll do it. Now you've got to win 4.
Speakeasy eventually shuts Jigsaw down, but Jigsaw knows the damage has been done at this point. Whether he's only speaking to us and the viewers and his own teammates, or whether the old chat is in fact on, it doesn't matter at this point. 35 seconds, diffuser recovered. Speakeasy needs to double his kills if he's going to hope to keep WEIBO in this map.
He's got the 417. A good gun to do it. But again, Enterprise have generally been patient. Some information revealed. The shotgun spotted around the corner. And hey, there's a 1v1 right here. Brendo got to be careful, but Tuhan will finish things off. It's a 7-2 for Enterprise, but it could have been even better than that. It is not a contest on Fortress, and Enterprise 1 map away from main stage.
Enterprise are fired up for the fight right now. They are giving us some very exciting Siege to watch. They can only play the opponent that's in front of them, but they have made mincemeat of WEIBO on map 1. Fortunately, we have a map 2 in the series, and we'll be back with Labs right after this.
basically nothing different between Series 1 and Series 2, both beginning with a 7-2, and somehow, despite the same scoreline, I don't think we've seen a performance quite as dominant today as that from Enterprise.
It felt a bit different, didn't it? It felt very different to the way that Falcons beat VP on their first map. It just felt a little bit like WEIBO were off the pace here. Lack of awareness was one of the words that we used to characterize the performance that we've seen so far from the 5 players on the right-hand side of your screen at the moment. 33% cost for 3 players. Reaps, by the way, 22%, 2 kills. Only good for kills on that defensive side. He got 1 entry on the defense. And other than that, he was either the first or the second dead in nearly every single round.
And then Ape, obviously, up top, 78% cost, 8-8. He got WEIBO one of their rounds. Remember? That massive L3K Scorpion in the pistol. Objectively, crazy mechanical skill. That was literally one of the only good things that happened for WEIBO that round, and it was still a clutch that needed to happen. It just was not a factor. The team was not a factor on Fortress, but that was Enterprise's pick. We've got WEIBO's coming up right now, and Ollie, I need you. I need you. This is a promotion elimination game. We are in the 2-2. WEIBO have a 7-1 record on this map going into this game. 7-1. That is +6 if you can't do math, which I can't. I prepped that ahead of time. I've been practicing it all day. Surely WEIBO can come back. Surely they have something to offer.
Well, across the major so far, they've played it twice.
Okay.
Looking a little bit further back, yes, that's when you get the magical 6-1, 7-1 record. Across the majors, they've played it twice. They've won 1, lost 1. They played it against Twisted Minds, who, by the way, qualified in top seed, or second top seed to FaceClan.
Yeah.
It's basically top just because of the way the games were played. They beat Twisted Minds on there, 8-7. Sorry, they lost Twisted Minds, 8-7. They beat Lost.
That's a close game, though.
They beat Lost, 8-7. And they beat them yesterday.
And hey, they had a lead against Twisted Minds that game. If you recall, Twisted Minds had to come back from a deficit in order to defeat WEIBO Gaming. What I'm saying is, was Fortress bad? Yes. But Nighthaven Labs, this is a map with a good record for them. 2 very close games this whole tournament, and what could very well be 2 victories. And if they had closed out that regulation against Twisted Minds, who qualified quite quickly, might I add, they could be 2-0 and have a really good record on this map at this tournament specifically, alongside their victory against Los. WEIBO are not out of this yet. This is a comfortable map. This is a good map, and one that they can perform well on this tournament.
I appreciate what you've done there. You've given the WEIBO fans a little bit of hope.
I have never met a hill I wouldn't die on.
I'm about to dash it.
Why would you do that? Dash is out of the tournament. Why would you do that?
I'm about to just pour water over the fire and the flames that you have just tried to kindle.
Can I sit down at least?
Falcons. Team Falcons.
I would assume not the animal.
They lost to Enterprise on this very map only a couple of days ago.
Okay. What was the score?
8-6.
Okay.
Enterprise also narrowly lost to SR on this map. Another overtime game.
And
had it not been for Spoit having an incredible series.
Incredible tournament, might I add.
And an incredible series, or an incredible map on that specific day, Enterprise would have walked away with a win there as well.
Okay.
I think that the opponents that Enterprise have beaten and come close to beating on this map outweigh WEIBO's record on this map currently. And I do not believe for 1 second that WEIBO are out of hot water here coming into Nighthaven Labs, particularly given that they're starting on the attack.
Okay. I hear what you're saying, and all of that is fair. I acknowledge all of that. Counter-argument. It's bad map 1. But Hoven is still, going into this series, the highest-rated player in the lobby. One of the highest-rated players in the tournament, might I add, after his insane 43-kill series yesterday. An extremely close series, a hard-fought series to get them to this point. He's on Deimos currently. So much investment can go on that one operator, and particularly in tandem with the Lion, Ape, who had a good game last game. We've got some good utility, some good ideas from WEIBO out the gate, and maybe we can invest in this star player. This person who has basically made the whole tournament for WEIBO, Hoven, especially in the back half. Maybe that is what they need to bounce back from a rough Fortress and to seal the deal on Nighthaven. For the defense, we got a pulse down below, a few different things to talk about, some tools that Enterprise will have to stop that from happening.
Enterprise also bringing the Clash. They were wanting to spam the Clash, in the words of Mag, on Fortress.
Such a funny phrase.
And they weren't allowed to do it. Clash was banned. This time available. Interestingly, opposite side of the reinforcement that is more typically done inside of Connector. And it is just going to give a little bit of a corner for Cairo to hide in. Can look to try and play that clash, not aggressively, but in an information gathering role. Are they coming through connector? The stall out in this round has been pretty severe. They've got good control of mid-floor, but they've got no idea that Jigsaw's below, just feeding all this information to the rest of his team. Hoven is looking to try and get something done vertically and doesn't realize Jigsaw's working vertically on him.
Hunter becoming the hunted with 1:15 to go. More gadgets being used, but every 1D, 3Bs, going hunting for the pulse. We'll find him. I was about to say, surely Hoven gets that kill, and indeed he will. Might cost a lot of damage. That's the pulse dealt with. That's a C4 from below you don't have to worry about. Only issue, though, you still got this flash up top, and in the zombie as well. There's something for Enterprise to work with here.
There's nothing that WEIBO have got to deal with this clash and the shield. They've got a couple of nades. That's about it. They've got to be in the right position to throw those nades, and they're going to have to go gun down to do so. Tuhan still playing inside a fish. Ape now going to be joined potentially by Hoven as Hoven makes that rotation over toward storage. He's got a couple of people that he can track on the death mark, and the first target is going to be the clash. But at the 30-second mark, it feels like that's a bit too late.
It feels a bit odd, and I mean, Speakeasy hopping directly into barbed wire. Bappin just is playing the normal angle on Generator, swings around the corner, but WEIBO keeping it close. In fact, even Turd has made his way into sight. Playing on the B bomb chassis. You've got two different players in this position. Oh, Poppin almost loses that opportunity. Taking the kill on Reaps a little bit for granted. Now Turd finds himself in a difficult situation, but a 1v1. Oh, just sees the Azami's head. But camouflaged enough by the monitors. Tuhan around the corner. Ooh, thinks the diffuser's going down in the wrong spot, but too much time has passed. Big 3K from Turd, but not enough. It's a 1v1 for Enterprise to end it, and they continue their streak.
Enterprise have been very well disciplined in those late round moments where things could go wrong. You've got Twitch, you've got the F2, you've got Turd, skilled player, talented. Who's to say he's not going to flick two heads? Who's to say if you don't line up a misplay? You don't need to push that. The time's running low. Force him into the plant. Use your utility. It's always a safe bet that someone's planting behind pillar. That's where you'd usually end up planting. It was a very off spot that Turd found himself in with the diffuser. It was a decent clear from WEIBO. It just all took far too long. Jumping into barbed wire? 2026? That thing's going to damage you. It gives the game away. You get slowed down even more. You're just going to get swung. It's electric. What do you expect? Ways of dealing with some things, and then a lack of ways of dealing with others. They had 3 nades as we've got players jumping into barbed wire, for goodness sake. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
It's crazy.
Like, 3 nades. Didn't used to deal with the clash. The clash died of her own means. So
natural causes, I think.
Natural causes, yeah. It's a killer.
It happens.
It happens. It's natural, some would say. Circle of life and all that. But not even being able to clear the barbed wire. Not even really seeming like they knew about the barbed wire. You got Bappin flanking. He'd already killed the guy from that position. They're still open to the reinforcement. You kind of pointed it out, and it's really taken a map to set in. There have been so many people on WEIBO that have been shot with either their side or their back turned. And it's like, it's enough of a phenomenon now at this point that I'm thinking about every game that we've casted, and it is like, it is insane how often it seems to be occurring in this series.
Mudrib has placed on the wall, and Reap's reluctant to put those exothermic charges down. Feeling like they need to go for a bit of a full clear here. I mean, they've got the RAM, they can do that. Reap's danger now is that he gets caught out before being able to rotate back downstairs and actually get the main wall open. There is a little bit of redundancy. Turd going to be playing on the ace. And a Dokubi phone call just to make these roamers think twice. You can hear those boogie drones now. No doubt going in through IT and starting to open up towards storage. This top floor is going to need to be cleared. And Speakeasy at the minute is inside a kitchen. I'm far more worried about this top floor than what's going on inside of that kitchen site. Because with the site being downstairs, you can't just ignore it. You can't ignore that vertical hold.
And you'll see WEIBO starting to consider it. Speakeasy turning the corner. Blackbeard, I think, just quickly making his way towards EXO. Reaps. He's had a rough performance. 3rd kill over the whole series. He finds an important one to cover the Blackbeard as they make their way down EXO. Up it might fall. Dokubi calls not a factor. But WEIBO are making some very good progress right outside of the site. Need some support. There are these vertical angles as well. You can see that the Blackbeard's concerned about it. Can you put the diffuser down? He's right in front of the vertical hole, and there's nobody at the window. There's no utility being used to cover it. Turd in a 1v4. There's barricades in his way. There's a shotgun around the corner. And it's Enterprise with another round.
Enterprise, again, doing a really good job of sticking to their win conditions. They know holding that top floor, spreading themselves quite thin, and just supporting the player that's going to be inside of storage. We didn't see a single body from WEIBO get into storage. That's always a big problem. If you're going to clear top floor, it's got to be the whole thing. You have to start on that top floor, go through, clear the mid floor, flush the defenders down, lose a few bodies, kill a few, whatever, however it takes. It's always a little bit messy. It's always scrappy. But the end goal, if you're going to try and get the plant down in that default spot, is you need control of storage. And if you don't have control of storage, you are going to struggle. Enterprise know this. Hence why they are playing, or they were playing, inside of storage. Because they know that is the win con. Mag has got this team very well drilled at the moment, and it is showing in the server. This is a game. Okay, are WEIBO playing the best siege? No. But are Enterprise playing the best siege for the game that has been put in front of them? Yes.
Absolutely.
And would it be very easy to slip and to start just playing like a massive troll? Absolutely.
And that's what I was starting to think about as we saw the end of round one, is that I think really the true hallmark of Enterprise so far is that they're up 2-0 right now. It's not a particularly close series, but in every game they've played, they have always been very quick to trash talk. And maybe they've let a lead slip here or there, but one who hasn't. They're a bit of a newer team, the international stage, though some players with quite a bit of international experience. But they haven't really let like I really feel like a massive lead slip consistently. They have, against teams that I think we would unequivocally say on paper are their betters, they've taken them the distance. Shopify Rebellion, in one of the best tournament forms we've seen from that team in quite a long time, all 3 maps, really close series against a vintage Spoit performance in what Spoit's best tournament in years. They've been making good progress. Also, you gotta say, Brendo has been on a heater in Salt Lake City. He was plus, what, 37 or something going into this game? Unbelievable stuff from Brendo so far this tournament. Him and Jigsaw have been lights out. And it's just kills like that that are one of many for Brendo in Salt Lake.
5-1 at the moment. That is giving the plus column a good deal more. Speakeasy ratting at the bottom of Fish Stairs. Takes Cairo down. Has a chance at an angle onto another impact just as he retreats up those stairs. But he's kind of cut off right now. Bappin maybe knows that he's popped the Vulcan pack and doesn't want to take that less than favorable angle. It's never good firing up the stairs. You always kind of want to be the one at the top. Speakeasy holds the high ground at the moment. Still, it isn't going to help him too much. He's had to expend bees to just ensure that he isn't going to get flanked up on. Still not too sure at the threat of a flank from below. Two Hands gone like a thief in the night. He's well out of there. And the 3 remaining players for Enterprise just kind of consolidated after an early burst from Brendo. They don't need to overcomplicate it. They don't need to do too much now. A minute left, and only a super shorty to make you vert. I'll take those odds.
And this is another good example of Enterprise not making things more difficult for themselves. It's a 3v3. It is already hard. You also don't have a lot of great utility for this late round. You've got whatever Vulcan packs, whatever Banshees might survive. You've got a C4 that I think is pre-placed actually right now for Tuhan. But that's it. That's all you got. And so the recipe here, as always, Ali, is don't peek if you don't need to. Take an off angle if you think you got a chance. Take a fight if you think you're favored. But just do not peek. Do not make it harder than you have to. And Tuhan, I think, is a good example of this. Playing passive, holding the off angle in Gen, that immediately backs off once the Thermite peaks. Because with 30 seconds remaining, there's only so much you can do. When you have the vertical angles, you've lost the control there. You're going to need to play a bit reactive. Ape hops in. There are no angles actually directly above this planter, and that's where the C4 was pre-placed. The whole round, it has been in that exact spot, on default, ready for WEIBO to move in. Tuhan detonates, and that's the round. Hoven can go pick this back up. He can try, but Speakeasy needs to cover. Needs to get all 3 as he's worried about the vert. Hoven actually should be able to get this diffuser down as Enterprise, instead of directly challenging the diffuser, go to retake the vertical instead. Speakeasy sprinting into the garage will actually spot the Goyo for Boppin spots him. An important kill. The first of potentially 3 as another walks down the corner. It's now just Jigsaw and Speakeasy. This might be their 3rd 1v1 so far, but WEIBO need any round they get their hands on. Speakeasy got to push. Speakeasy needs to push, and he'll push all too late. Enterprise have been consistent. It's their first clutch of the series, but it's another knife to WEIBO's heart.
Even when things start to look like they are going right for WEIBO, they go wrong. The post plant Where's the post plant? I've drilled this into you. Please don't let me down. Where is the post plant for storage?
It's in garage.
Outside of the window. Get yourself outside. All you've got to do is get yourself outside.
It's outside garage in the window. I don't even think the wall was open.
No, I don't think the wall was open, to be fair. It's always going to be tough, isn't it? And that was one of the worst... Was it one of the worst examples? It was one of the examples where Enterprise kind of throw himself at the problem. We got people jumping over the top rope inside a warehouse and maybe just flooding.
Some mistakes.
The door was open. Speakeasy very much had the opportunity there, but he'd just given too much space to Jigsaw, and I think the call was brilliant. Because the player was not downed and not finished, there was a lot of information that Bappin could exchange. Didn't get finished straight away. Now, oftentimes we'll say sometimes you don't need to chase after kills, sometimes you do need to chase after kills.
It's a varying standard.
That was an occasion where you need to chase after the kill and you need to get him gone quickly, because all Bappin's doing is just looking at Speakeasy. He's just killed him, and he can give all the information in the world and say, hey, Jig, he's still not moved. He's still not... And if Jigsaw's already started to disable that diffuser, you just got to stick it at that point.
Crazy kills from Brendo to start, by the way. That double was insane. Also, good lurk from Speakeasy as well. Sure, doesn't clutch the 1v3, but in this game so far, that was a really big kill. Not only to take down the Clash, but also just sneaking in, gaining a bit of initiative when WEIBO really needed an opening. It's what put them in a 3v3. It took down a big operator. Speakeasy, we talk about impactless kills, but I think if we want to also like give credit where credit's due, really big individual plays from him in that round. Not only with the gun skill, but again, that mid-round lurk. It's a shame it did not pay off. And I'm still thinking about that C4. I mean, when I first noticed it, was like 30 to 40 seconds before the diffuser went down, and it was already pre-placed.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine how long it was there.
It's been there for a while.
It's been there for ages.
Which is a big risk, because...
It is a dry-age C4.
You should be kind of aware of that. You hear the beeping, even a drone underneath. It's not uncommon to play a pulse on that side. So little drone underneath, you might have spotted that C4 and gone up. Yeah, okay, we'll deal with that when we go in. We'll EMP it, we'll shoot through the floor, whatever it might be. Enterprise, 3 rounds in a row now. And to be honest, round 3 feels like the sort of round that WEIBO would have won on Fortress through a clutch, because the 2 rounds that they won were 3 clutches. It's now asking too much. That isn't going to be a consistent theme here. We can't constantly be asking for players to clutch up so that WEIBO can win a couple of rounds. They're going to need to dig a little bit deeper than that. They've still got a timeout, which I'm kind of surprised they've not used yet. Time will tell.
Oh. I was about to say, if 2-on is winning engagements like that, we might be in rough shape. Just a little one-tap SMG-12 at the single window. Not today. All 5 scanned for these Deathmark trackers. Really great information that Hoven has at his fingertips. Line really not even necessary at that point. Could freeze people, of course, but for scanning, you've already got that job done. Be helpful alongside the Blackbeard. Zoto canisters. Again, a good bit of insight into Enterprise's mentality. Waste some time, but also you're up 3-0. They do have direct information on this Tuberau. I was going to say that's the easiest pre-fire of Turret's career. Winning the battles we need to. That's what's important. 5v4 now. Taking garage control at the back of it. Again, I like this as well. With the Azami ban, it's going to be easier. Brendo throws out a C4. That takes down the Blackbeard. That's unfortunate. We still have the Deathmark trackers as well. Hoven can go below. Use some of that verticality. Maybe clear the mirror window. Maybe clear the players on B. We've still got a minute 20 seconds. So much time to work with.
There is enough time here. Enough time for both teams, really. Enough time for WEIBO to continue to tighten this net, and enough time for Enterprise to just reposition ever so slightly. 2-on and Brendo, both dug quite deep. Not being given too much of a reason to move at the minute. 2-hand still with a C4 in his pocket. Players now starting to congregate at the bottom of these fish stairs. Hoven thinking about a bit of a walk up. For me, he's got a minute and he's got everyone available on a death mark. He should probably try and make that happen a little bit. A little bit of vert through the floor.
Now look at this with the fish player falling. I think WEIBO correctly identifying that this side is completely exposed. Brendo taking an angle. You got to be careful, but you can play the trades on this side. Bappin and Cairo can only do so much. Double swing, good trade. WEIBO playing this very well fundamentally. Reeps now moving in with the diffuser. Bappin with his back turned. That is unfortunate timing on the ARX. They've got this player locked in IT. They've moved into the post. With Bappin on low HP as well. Okay, Ape tagged up a little bit, but they've also spotted the backside player. Cairo running straight into the air jab, flashed as well. This might be WEIBO's first clean round in a while. No 1vx necessary. The first genuine Full victory from WEIBO coming exactly when they needed it.
Round 4 of Labs. A big pivotal moment there for WEIBO. Is that going to be the sign of the momentum starting to break here in this game? We're already starting to see some cracks starting to show on Enterprise. Now, that might sound strange. They have won 3 rounds. 1 came very close. Came down to a 1 versus 1. Turd, 3 came round 1 as well, but a good recovery from Brendo. A player that isn't stepping up at the moment for Enterprise, who has been not only a big talker, but also a big performer, is Jigsaw. And it's the games where Jigsaw lacks behind that we see this team struggle. Now, Brendo 7-2. He's doing a reasonable job of carrying his buddy there. But who's carrying Cairo at 0-4? Because between Jig and Cairo, they've got 1 kill between them in 5 rounds. Okay, we've not seen all of round 5 yet, but you get the picture, you get the premise.
Get the idea.
There's a game here if WEIBO won it. Just depends how badly they want it.
Depends how badly they want it. Depends what they can find, what they can do for themselves. They've got the first, and they played very good trades in that late round. I think also, we always talk about playing the team in front of them. When Enterprise slipped up, gave them a little bit of an opening. They were ready to take it. There's a lot of good we can look to in that round. And think about for WEIBO going forward. One thing that we'll need to see here, dealing with this vertical play. We literally did not see a single player, a single bit of utility from WEIBO last time this site was attacked to deal with that player up top inside of storage. We need to see it this time. With the Solus there, she simply cannot be allowed to survive. Or, at absolute minimum, cannot be allowed to play in that position.
They've gone for a slightly different approach as well. They've got the Dokkaebi and the Deimos this time. No Lion to round it out as a trifecta, but also no Ram. Going for Hoven on Book instead of the Ram. Maybe going to be a little bit more precise, a little bit more accurate with where they are making those rotations or making that vert. But either way, it's going to have to be done. The better clear of the top floor is going to be required, but that also needs to transition into a successful clear down below. Brendo caught out on the remnants of the Logic Bomb, and Reaps doesn't know which way to turn. Cairo putting him in a blender right there as he finally gets his first kill.
Panic Smoke just trying to disappear out of that engagement. Cairo blind will fire 1 shot with the Boss G, hoping he gets lucky. Not today, unfortunately. Jigsaw, they're trying to deal with him inside his storage. We give them credit for that. But he takes 1 in the process, and it's the Deimos to be taken down. Be such a good player to hunt down any of these remaining defenders down below, but as he falls and Speakeasy's out of Dokkaebi canisters, or Dokkaebi calls. Again, in a position where WEIBO are lacking tools when they need every advantage they can get. And a 3v4 to bring things back. Oh, boppin'. Oh, the long flank. And he's playing it patient, too. Sitting behind the pillar, waiting. Ollie, he is going to hit this with the perfect time. Just creeping up through garage, vertical angle. He just might spot Hoven down below. The Buck instead, moving to the side, just slips through. Again, more information as another goes to clear. He gets 1 up top and another down below. Bopping across 2 dimensions, making it work. The third might slip past, but he's sealed the round for Enterprise.
Speakeasy again left in this clutch. 1 versus 3. Has the diffuser, but only has 18 seconds to play with. No major denial. But Enterprise, they're doing what they do best. And that is not move. Wait until the opportune moment presents. And for Brendo, that was then. Swings round, cleans things up there. And another round chalked up for Enterprise. And a better win on the balance of things. Because we've seen a couple of clutchy rounds so far from Enterprise. We've seen a very top-heavy contribution.
Seen a top-heavy contribution, and also to give WEIBO credit, some actually genuine attempts there to throw off Enterprise that really came down to some individual players getting important kills. They pressured Jigsaw. Jigsaw is able to get a kill, but he's quickly traded out. Really, the big moment is this kill right here. The fact that Cairo's able to get Reaps in Garage, that kind of affects the rest of the game. Like, yes, obviously a big 2-piece from Boppin, But imagine if Reaps doesn't go down and they're able to at least maybe get a 4-4 on a Jigsaw and then isolate onto Cairo. It's kind of a different game. Then you have an advantage. You can focus a bit more on controlling the flank up top. You don't just have Ape going up taking a 1v1 with the Ella. It's a bit of a different situation. And unfortunately, to spin that positive into a negative, it is Reaps again in these moments. How consistent has it been? One of the first 1 to 2 dead in these rounds, not having really any impact, and again, being easy fodder for Enterprise. He has 3 kills through maps 1 and 2. 3 kills in 14 rounds.
It's just uncharacteristic at this point. I think about Reaps as a player, and the first thing I think of is obviously the super high DPI.
Everyone goes to
It's
that.
a bit of a meme, isn't it? But aside from that, like, crazy player, crazy potential, loads of kills usually, but in this structure, in this team, he's just not able to find him as easily. But then again, who is? Like, Speakeasy's been a bit of a standout in this series so far, but even there, 4 and 4, Turd, 6 and 4, Hoven yesterday.
Yes.
But look at what happens when he goes 2 and 5.
It's just, and that's the thing, like, we can talk, you can focus on any given round, you can focus on Reaps, you can focus on Hoven, you can focus on anybody, but it's a team issue at the moment for WEIBO. It is just pure and simple a team issue. People always, I think, win as a team, lose as a team, but right now, WEIBO as a 5 are just not there currently. There's still some good moments. I think Nighthaven has definitely looked better. I think last round there were still some moments in which they were keeping it competitive against Enterprise, and it only broke away towards the end. But it's still 4-1. It's still a chance that this half ends at, again, another basically nice 6-0, just like how Fortress was. Clash on the board right now, keeping things at bay up top. Blackbeard thinking about hopping in down below. It's exactly what Speakeasy will do. Nades flying in over top. He's good for the first. But again, the Blackbeard traded very quickly. Boppin with another. Jigsaw winning his fight on IT. And literally in less than 10 seconds, it goes from a 5v5 to another Enterprise dominant advantage. We have seen so many 5v1s, 4v1s, and it feels the worst Enterprise can do at any given moment is a 3v1. Maybe around here, maybe around there for WEIBO, but they are still at only 3 rounds over 2 maps, and there's no other way of putting it. If WEIBO want to survive, if WEIBO want to make an argument, it must be better.
Yeah, everyone get on the attacks now. Get on the attacks. Everyone turn to the teacher.
Third.
Go on, lad. All right,
Guys,
listen
wait,
up.
I just want to say something.
Yes.
We've been here before against Falcons.
Yes.
We need to not lose our heads, Andreas. Okay? This is where I didn't mean that in a bad way. Let's let the teacher speak.
All right, guys, listen. 0-0, we reset, okay? This is where we have to really dig in and play as a team, okay? Labs attack, okay? On attack, right? We need to care the Thorn Traps. What are we banning? We're banning, Andres, tell me? Mirror Azami, okay? Speakeasy will be Pulse, okay? If we want to play the Buck Below and Buck 'em Out, we can. If we want to play the Deimos, they have a lot of mute jammers, okay? But we can still play the Deimos, okay? If we want to. Snake Lurks will be really strong kitchen side no matter what fucking wherever they are, okay? We know how they play. We've played them 1,000 times, okay? These guys are fucking nervous as fuck.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
a
them
Swiss
play.
stage cast.
So we play as a team, guys.
Talk, Marty, talk.
I think we just start basement, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, start basement. What you guys feel like doing? We can do anything in the world, guys.
Look, we start with this top Mira, you know? If Mira is open, right?
Samira, top floor.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go top floor.
Azami also. So yeah, we're gonna wait for mistakes. Just hard hold.
No,
It's about that.
listen. I think we play the double C4, but instead of Warden, I think we play Clash, because
me to track
Gohan
the
want us to play a
IP.
lot of Clash.
Oh, just put it.
Okay,
The
right?
sound is the
Yeah.
clash.
Yeah, I'll play. I can do all the Rios lah, cause the Mira's making all the rotates. Hey,
I track ITR now. Left.
What do you think?
Can
I think
send?
don't need lah.
Okay.
Guys, remember now, huh? We need good energy. Remember, the pressure. They will feel the pressure to finish the match.
Yes.
We're gonna start to win rounds after.
Trying to bring the mental back, trying to get WEIBO locked in, and also Enterprise being quite deferential to authority. Listening to the teacher, all sitting around listening.
Turn to the teacher.
Turn to the teacher. Turn to the teacher, please. For Mag, it is not about a salary. It is all about reality. Just trying to teach and impart something upon the youth. And really, he's done quite a good job. 5-1 currently for Enterprise. Still playing lights out. Really good fundamental siege. And the best highlight for me, Ollie, what's the first thing they talked about? We were here against Falcons before.
Yeah.
Please, let's not lose our heads.
That was for me as well. It's 0-0, treated as fresh, and let's not make the same mistakes that we've made previously. And I think that's massive because it shows growth and it shows learning, and it shows that they are very mindful of the fact that it doesn't take long for things to slip. It doesn't take long for something to just
one round at a time.
Slide out of your control. Mag again, giving some very key words of wisdom. Very different timeout from WEIBO. I don't know if I'm like misunderstanding. Obviously, we come through, we listened to the Enterprise timeout first. We got the first minute there, so we didn't get the first minute really of the WEIBO timeout. But it just felt like they were kind of planning for one round. Like it didn't feel like they were planning for. It wasn't very top level. It was very like granular. It was like, oh yeah, we'll play the clash, you know, and maybe play a mirror and do this. And should we go top floor or should we go basement? It's like that ain't gonna matter because you need to win everywhere. Like it shouldn't matter where you start because you all right. Maybe if you want a certain operator before they get banned out and start around 10, then whatever. But it just felt a little bit too granular. It felt a little bit too caught in the weeds. And I think that that's maybe one of the reasons why we're seeing WEIBO struggle is. They need to just step back and look a little bit more big picture.
I think everyone just really wants WEIBO to reset. APAC team's guaranteed to go. We don't lose either way. First time in 3 years. We're all happy no matter who wins this game. And so that means the only thing we want is something competitive. We just want something that will make us all happy, something to give us some good siege, something to give us something to talk about. And people might be talking at the end of this game. But even Enterprise aren't talking all that much.
They've quietened down in the old chat, haven't they?
We'll talk after rounds, but beyond that, it's just like, what do you say at this point? What do you say? Well, for Turd, he says, you're not getting that angle. I've seen that one before. I've seen that at this tournament. You're not getting that over me.
A nice angle, but a predictable one. Two-hand going down. Best thing you guys have done. Oh, turn the old chat on, so there's at least going to be a participant there. Reaps trying to reactivate that laser gate. Cairo is looking to start to push in now. He's able to bait out a Thorn Trap as well, and with the laser gate reactivating, it's going to require Jigsaw on the Thatcher to do something about it. And Cairo, not really got the space to take that control yet. We kind of joked and dogged on seeing a Fuse shield earlier. We've got it here for round 7.
Yeah, Cairo trying to make it work. Don't know how effective he's going to be able to use these cluster charges. Just already we've seen some struggles over on the connector side, so I think getting into position might be quite difficult. And so we see some diversification. Boppin going down below with Deathmark trackers. Thatcher creeping into IT. Launcher in hand. Garage control fully taken by the attacking team, and so the cluster charges will go out as they try to open up some of these angles. Explosives hitting all around Reaps' feet, though doesn't actually lose any HP in the process. Will even take a very aggressive line on the hole opened by the can opener. He's got 3 different players that might turn towards him.
Some great information being gathered by Cairo at the minute. It's going to be only a matter of moments until we see a player rotate onto this fish side. And I think that WEIBO are recognizing that, and they're starting to understand that that is going to be a factor. Bappin gets the kill over onto Reaps. Cairo himself is going to be the one to make that rotation over towards Fish as nades start to come up from below and further displace some of these attackers.
Just continue doing damage. Ape tagged up from behind the shield. This can only be safe haven for so long as Enterprise recovering from that deficit. WEIBO holding on. Nails biting into the grip, just trying to keep a hold on this round. Trying to stop match point. Ape has been trapped behind this shield. It has become a prison, and yet just 3 more seconds are all that's required, and it should be enough to keep WEIBO in the fight. Enterprise understand they will let it slip through, and WEIBO, for the first round on defense, get, I don't know, any more important victory than this.
Clash being a really key factor there. Ape able to set up shop and continue to play that Clash shield despite the Deimos from below, despite fused cluster charge, despite nades, despite the Thatcher. The Clash saw incredible value there for that top floor. Big opening kill as well. Turd taking down Tuan.
Deploying jammer. Explosive
See the all chat kicking off in between these rounds now. As we start to get toward the business end of things, it's more than likely going to heat up a little bit in there. For round number 8, we're going to be headed downstairs. Assembly room and tank. No clash this time for WEIBO. Instead, a little bit of castle play. Going to try and reinforce some of these areas upstairs. Just give a little bit more fortification to play from. Hatches being reinforced as well, so know that they're not going to be looking to try and firmly hold up here and then drop back at the hatches at a later point. Instead, it's going to be far more typical. It's just going to be a case of holding space for as long as they can and then making their way down exo and cargo appropriately.
Some big changes by Enterprise in the attacking operator lineup. We got the Monty coming through, but also some switches towards the Dokkaebi and the Snake. So much information that Enterprise are trying to gather. Turd picking up on something outside of the house single window. He'll dip off and move into kitchen. This gives Enterprise an idea. There might be a solo roamer moving around the middle floor, and with a Monty and a Dokkaebi and a Snake, can't think of any better tools you have to isolate Turd and finish him off. It seems like they might move away from that idea, though. Cairo taking a lot of damage. Not entirely sure from where, but below half HP. That could be problematic, especially if they decide to go for a single pinch later. Great C4 by Hoven. Brendo sent out early on within the first minute.
That's the soft breach as well. They've not brought a ram, they've not brought a book. They were relying on Brendo to make a lot of this soft destruction happen. And without that, it's going to be very difficult from here on in. That top floor pressure that they've got, it's not worth as much because they're not able to open up and effect onto that mid floor. And then when and if they do get that mid floor control, there's even less that they're going to be able to do later on. Bappin trying to flash out at the top cargo and make something happen, and they're just going to have to go a little bit more direct. Any advantage they were hoping to have from above is now entirely nullified, and a lot's going to have to happen off the back of Cairo and this shield.
A lot really has to happen, especially when you consider there are 4 defenders on this middle floor right now. They're a bit spread out, but they can all trade each other, move into the right positions. Such an important kill as well. That Monty was softened up, and Turd makes good off of that earlier effort. Both Dokkaebi calls used. Jigsaw's utility becomes more and more important, and Enterprise need bigger and bigger performances in order to bring this back. One player spotted of many still around the middle floor. Speakeasy gets another through the wall. It might have taken a long time, but WEIBO just finding their way back into it. Could have been a flawless round if Tuhan in a 1v5 didn't get that kill. But so long as WEIBO don't give engagement after engagement to this Thermite, they are beginning to claw things back. And if they can close this out, Round 9 might be the moment, might be the 3 minutes that Nighthaven hinges on.
Another big round there for WEIBO. They are starting to fight back a little bit here. 2 successful rounds on the defense. And all that was banging around my head as we were listening and watching to the close of that round was Mag's first words in the timeout. Obviously, aside from look at me and, you know, look at me when I'm talking to you. 0-0. This is Nighthaven. Oh, this is Labs attack. Recognizing that this is maybe something that Enterprise don't necessarily have a problem with, but it potentially doesn't come as easy as Fortress attacks did to them, for example. Because they are coming up against considerable opposition right now. That is not a complicated hold that WEIBO have just pulled out by any stretch. Fairly straightforward to deal with. This gets a lot more techie.
It
a Scopos and a Thorn.
That's true, it does. But also keep in mind, they played SR yesterday, who have been running a Scopos kitchen dining strat basically since Spoit joined the team, who was playing that up when he was also on M80 on this exact site. When Maya was on Liquid, they ran a similar strat. This is not new either. Maybe it's new for WEIBO, who knows. But Enterprise have literally ran into this exact strategy or something very similar to it in the past day. Clash and Thorn, as you pointed out, they are added variables you have to consider. They're going to complicate things. But even then, Enterprise, they've been in something comparable before. Even if it's more complicated, there is a core that they've experienced within the past 24 hours. Here we go. If here they still really struggle, Mag's definitely going to call that tactical timeout, but WEIBO might be fully back in it. Just a quick push. As Boppin moving in with the bearing 9, maybe moving a bit more comfortable. just creeping up, hoping that castle pushes through. Doesn't even need to do it, as Cairo instead with the M762 gets his man. Boppin as well, just pop Turret's head. Speakeasy down for the count as well. Enterprise just needed a reminder, needed some indicator to jog their memory, to knock things loose. And again, it's a clash. Stuck behind her shield, it's again Reaps. We're 2 players on WEIBO with so much to do. He's got an important pick. But Ape now creeping around the staircase could catch the Capitao off guard. It's a good flick. He needs to get another, but Boppin's ready for it. And Reaps now marching back down Fish Stairs. Information on one at the end of the hallway, but using the Clash's own shield against the defense. What is he to do? As Enterprise keep moving in, Cairo now down. Information on another. Reaps has struggled so much this whole series. He's damaging them so much. Zofia down, Glaz 1 HP. Just something needs to break his way as he spots the Ram. They are all tucked in one corner. A C4 would have done so much. But a Thorn with no hope to do. It is now 6 rounds. Promotion point for Enterprise.
Enterprise just needed a little bit of a brief reminder. A slap around the face from WEIBO with those 2 rounds, 7 and 8. And round 9, Enterprise come out swinging. Very quick entry into the map. Very quick entry toward that first kill. Turd, hoping that there's a comeback on the cards. Trying to manifest something in the all chat. There's only been one king of the all chat so far, and it's been pretty much everyone on Enterprise. Mainly Jig, as he comes out with some of the funnier stuff, but they sit now on promotion point. The game on Friday at the live stage. Only a couple of minutes away. And WEIBO, they've only got themselves to turn to here, Lynx. They've shown us that they can do it. I guess that's one of the frustrating things. Round 7, round 8. If they'd have been playing like that from the start of the series, we maybe would have seen a little bit of something. There was a lot more togetherness about it. Enterprise have obviously dwarfed them today. It's been a night and day difference. There has been a contest there, but it's mainly come off the back of clutch plays. It's mainly come off the back of individuals with WEIBO. Whereas you can look at that Enterprise side and you can't really pick. Bappin, Brendo, either one of those two as MVP for the Labs in particular. But then Jigsaw, massive contribution on Fortress. It's difficult to say. Everyone's had their own part of the puzzle to play.
Everyone's played a factor for sure. Everyone has been involved to some extent in some way, shape, or form. Just really impressive team that we've seen. It could very well be our first APL representative to the main stage in 3 years. Well, it's guaranteed they'll be one of these teams, but it might just be Enterprise who do it.
This location.
WEIBO just need 3 in a row. Just need 3 in a row. But they won second floor. They won basement. This could be 6-5. And a 7-5, all things considered, that'd be close. That'd be competitive. We know WEIBO can win these sites. But the Clash band, it's going to be different. Clash was very important to these defenses, but in particular to this second floor. Turd, also been important for these defenses as well. Got the opening pick that round. There was a lot of good for WEIBO throughout. So, as Enterprise do the normal stuff, they open the exterior breaches, IT, connector, all the stuff we expect these Night Haven attackers to do. WEIBO are just playing their positions right now. Nobody's pushing too far out. We've got some players down below, but they are inviting Enterprise to come fight them.
I think that's the key at the moment for WEIBO. Leave that invitation open. Make Enterprise search you out here. Brendo taking a little bit of damage. Jigsaw slightly softened up already. A little bit of a HP deficit so far for Enterprise. You can almost feel the weight of this round.
Oh.
As it's slow. Bappin gets off the drone at the wrong moment. Rooted to the spot. Hoven doesn't want to move. Bappin should be dead. There should be a flank on the cards here. It all depends on how Hoven plays his hand.
He just has to push up. That is all he needs to do.
Oh, Jig might know.
No,
the Soliton scanner.
Jigsaw going to check again. Sprinting through, but Hoven's making his way up. If he just makes it to the next floor. If he just makes it. Oh, but he's looking. Even if he doesn't know, he's got a feeling. 48 seconds, though. A lot of energy being wasted, and now turning his attention back. It is not clear information. They are not certain. He's looking the wrong way. He misses his first chance, but he gets it on the second, and Jigsaw's down below. That means there are only 3 attackers on this top floor. Hoven can just bait the attention of the rest, and that'll be uncertainty. Playing in the minds of Enterprise, casting doubts on their plan, and they are still not committing. Cairo stuck outside, frozen by the Zoto. Hoven having more impact as he moves up house stairs. Jigsaw now trying to join the fray. Trying to outflank the flanker, but it feels like the moment's gone. One shot to the back of the head, as clean as professionals can do it. Cairo with some crazy picks, but still only a 2v2 with 2 seconds remaining, and a Razor Bloom does in their chances. WEIBO still some work to do, but another round and just one more brick in the wall.
Hoven playing a masterful flank when it matters the most. Round 10. He attracted so much attention. Not a lot of utility, granted, but so much focus. So much time was spent on a ghost. And eventually, he makes his way up Exo stairs. And eventually, he is able to move through and take down Bappen. But Bappen, distracted for the entirety, was never able to focus on his primary job. And that is, use the skeleton key from below, rip open the floor, and clear the way for the Monty. Clear the way for the players upstairs. The second kill as well, I think that was a really kind of big problem, because Hoven, not only does he get the kill onto Bappen, if he gets traded at that point, okay, fine, but then he continues the flank, he comes full circle almost, eventually getting taken down by Jigsaw, but 2 kills on the round was massive, and a very big swing. Enterprise, I do worry, because that's very different to the way that we've seen them play rounds up until this point. There was a little lack of confidence, there was a little lack of bite in closing out that round.
10 seconds left.
Can't help but worry that it's starting to slip a little bit. Kitchen dining was good. They got the tertiary site. And it feels very silly to say that round 12 might be the most important round in a 6-5 game if we get there. But WEIBO are just keeping pace right now. They're winning the sites again, which is very good. It's very good that they're doing that. But Enterprise, as you said, beginning to stall out. Not decisive. Giving WEIBO a lot of chances to get back in, and WEIBO playing well on these defenses. Feels like we're starting to see the team that they've had the reputation of being, going for these flanks, being exciting, being quite adept in the gunfights as well. Hoven as well, 8-8 now. It's a paltry scoreline compared to some of the heights he's achieved, but in this series, this is exactly what we need to see. Reap's hunting for some of these drones, now fall back. As WEIBO look to defend basement and keep Enterprise on the back foot to keep them guessing, and also keep these attacks as slow as they've been.
The attacks have definitely slowed down as soon as Enterprise get themselves onto map and series point. You can feel that level of pressure starting to seep through into the gameplay just ever so slightly. Jigsaw will be making his way in upstairs. Shouldn't have too much standing in his way. He's got Hoven over toward rafters. I think there's going to be some drone information on Hoven's location just through where Jigsaw is aiming right now.
Oh, I actually don't know.
Two-Hand's got a drone over toward Fish side.
Oh, they don't know.
We aren't seeing a full commit, though, and Hoven will drop off.
That'll get the sound cube. Now the boogie drones go out, so Hoven and Reap's in a bit of a tricky position. They got to be careful where they play. This might be exposed to these vertical angles. Don't know if there's intel on that top floor, but not detonating the C4 just yet. It's pre-placed. Hoping to catch an attacker as they go. Talking about slow attacks, 2 minutes into this round, we are still on second floor. We have not even applied a single bit of pressure to these mid-floor defenders. Jigsaw blinding himself as he walks down Fish stairs. It has been a struggle for Enterprise just to get to this point, and this point is basically step 1.5.
Enterprise have been really quick on the first 3 rounds of attack as well. All the kills coming in around the 2-minute 15, 2-minute 20 mark. This coming in at the 45-second mark, but it's a big one. It's Reaps going down.
Now a weird engagement between the Monty and Speakeasy. Trying to keep them at bay. No, ADS! Speakeasy staying a bit too long, and another player found on the roam. But again, it has taken so long for Enterprise to get to this point. WEIBO again just need to hold on. Ape A big pick onto Ram, onto Jigsaw, another spotted through the hatch. Cairo might get the trade, but Turd on 1 HP, 7 seconds. That's all he needs. Just one gunfight, one chance. He's got to win it, the one that matters most. And he falters at the finish line. 3 years it's taken, and Enterprise have their day. They are your first APL team, your only APL team to make main stage in SLC.
There it is. We finally get some Aussie representation on the main stage. It has been so long in the making. This team of players right here have done a fantastic job